Politicians fighting. How do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Yes, it is me, Larry Sharp, here on A Free Solution. So happy that you have decided to join me for a short period of your afternoon this awesome Tuesday. I know usually I am the guy on the Sharp way, but today I'm with you, WYSL, Rochester, New York, here on A Free Solution. Well, I'm sorry if I missed you guys last week. I was running around. I was actually going to Freedom Fest last week and trying to bring more freedom to this country. Doesn't always work, but I keep going, that's for sure. But it made me think about something a bit more personal, something that affected me as a kid and also not as a kid, as an adult. When I was younger, I remember some parents, and some parents were very strict with their kids. Can't go out, gonna ground you for doing anything wrong, spending a lot of time hovering over their kids. And I'm a little bit older, so I'm talking the 70s and 80s, right? That's what I'm talking, 70s and 80s. And I remember one specific girl who her parents were very strict, and she ran away. They tried to hold her back, and she just rebelled even more. Yet there were other kids whose parents were relatively strict, and they were very obedient and followed what their parents said and didn't run away. So it wasn't the automatic that if you're strict, your kid runs away. But if the kid was naturally rebellious, if that makes any sense, that you being strict didn't make them all of a sudden not rebellious. My parents were very loose with me. No curfews, things like that. I was a semi-rebellious teen. Not crazy, but rebellious. Never got in jail, which was lucky, I guess. Why would I bring any of this up? Well, I'm hoping that you will look into your past and think about your friends and family members, your parenting, whether your parents, or if you're a parent, how you've been parenting, and friends and family. And just because you were strict or not strict, did it make your kid or you react appropriately? I bring this up because of the recent court rulings and the responses. Many of you who are pro-life were very happy about the ruling, the reversal of Roe v. Wade. If you remember, I wasn't jumping up and down, even though I'm on record openly anti-abortion. Why would I not? Why would I not do that? Because sadly, culture matters. The personality of the kid matters for the parent. Culture matters for the state or for the nation, any group, right? The war on drugs didn't make drugs go away, right? The war on poverty didn't make poverty go away. If culture doesn't change, you still get drugs. If culture goes away, you still, if culture doesn't go away, you still get drugs, you still get poverty, it doesn't change. I said the same with abortion. If you hear me and have heard me over the past couple of years, I've said many times, abortion is a cultural issue, more than it's a legal issue. And if we don't change culture first, it's not going to matter, right? We've got to change culture first, or it's not going to matter. So Why do I say this? Because in New York, if you are a New Yorker, you know this. If you're not a New Yorker, it's coming to you. There was the reversal of Roe v. Wade across the country. And now in New York, it's easier to get an abortion. We're inviting people to come here and to pay for it. I'm not joking. Our taxpayer dollars are going to pay for other people to come here and get abortions. Why? Well, Larry, don't you want to stop abortions? Yes. But you can't have a law to stop it. And I've been saying this, and some of you are mad at me. I've had people come up to me and go, Larry, I love you, but you're not pro-life. You don't want to outlaw abortion, so I can't support you. And I would tell them, you don't understand. This is a cultural issue. You have to talk about it, make changes, change the environment, give women more options so you can have less abortions. And I tell people all the time, I do not want to have government involved, but I will guarantee you in my 4 years as governor, there will be less abortions. I guarantee it. Say it up front. And they get mad at me. No. Gotta outlaw. You don't understand. And I would warn them, that's not what you want. They think I'm crazy. Well, reversed Roe v. Wade. And now what? More abortions in New York. It was a backlash. It was a backlash. And I warned people of this. Culture first, then politics. We need more New Yorkers, more people, more women not wanting to choose abortion, then we'll be fine. Then everything happens from that. This is what I talk about constantly. Using the hammer gets you a backlash. I'll say again, the war on drugs, more drugs. War on poverty, more poverty. Right? So let's not do this. War on abortion, more abortion. It doesn't change. Just because it's your issue that you care about doesn't change human nature or culture. We've got to make people think the right way. We've got to get people to see our way. That will work. Persuasion is the answer, not coercion. Persuasion, talking, showing, giving more options, then it will work. Well, Larry, that's just this. No, it's guns too. Well, Larry, we're going to be great because Supreme Court said now we can do constitutional carry. We're good. See, we've won. It is now harder to get a gun permit in New York State. Not easier, harder. Yes. I'm the guy, me, that after every shooting, I'm the one saying, hey, it's not about gun control. It's about people. It's about problems. It's about culture. That's me all the time. Right after. I don't wait. I don't go, well, now's not the time. You see me do it. Every time. I'm the one saying, we don't want to go this far on guns because the backlash will make things worse. I'm the only guy with a realistic pro-gun agenda, pro-2A agenda. And be like, Larry, you got to be harder. So we can get this? Now they're looking through your social media? And you might go, well, I won't tell them. Great. Now you've just lied on a government form. So now they get to arrest you, call you a felon, and take your guns. That's what this is about. If you notice, they're not going to go into your house and take the guns. They don't do that. They wait till you mess up. Then they confiscate, I'm doing air quotes, then they confiscate the weapons of a felon. And they made it worse. Now there's going to be more felons and more people that you can take guns away from. The backlash is worse. This is a cultural issue. And people say, Larry, why aren't you out here in upstate New York talking about guns all the time? Because I'm preaching to the choir. I'm the guy who goes into the city and talks about guns. Who else does that? It's just me. Because I'm trying to change culture. I don't want people to fight the left or fight the right. We're all New Yorkers. We're all Americans. We got to learn to love each other and respect each other. Man, that's hard. I'm not saying what I'm doing is easy. That's not what I'm saying. It's hard. But anything that's worth fighting for is hard. That's how it works. If this was easy, it'd have been done already. It's hard. But if you've been watching me, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I'm still not done. This state is savable if we stop fighting and we stop doing the war on this and the war on that and the war on the other and start saying, you know what? How about you do you and I'll do me? How about I stop trying to force you to do what I say? How about instead, you leave me alone and let me be me, and you could be you. Maybe that's better. But Larry, you don't understand. When it comes to crime and this and that, we got to take care. We got to fire that guy, Alvin Bragg, in New York City. Got to force that. Got to have a war on DAs. What a terrible idea. You want a governor to have the power to remove your DA. You want Kathy Hochul deciding who your DA is. You want her to put Alvin Bragg through the entire state. Yeah, don't sound so good anymore, does it? Pretty dumb. It's a bad idea. What we want is like California does it. You can recall your DA. You don't like your DA? Recall them. You don't like your mayor? Recall them. You don't like your sheriff? Recall them. That makes sense. Now, local people get to be policed how they want to be policed. How about you let New York City be the way New York City wants, and New York City, as versus state, be the way it wants? See how that works? Now we're not fighting anymore. Now we're talking. I do not want any governor, me or anybody else, having control over how local communities are policed. I want you deciding how you're policed, and let other people decide how they're policed, and let cops go to each individual area that they feel most comfortable policing. This is win-win-win. But all we do is fight. All we do is get angry. A war on this, a war on that, a war on the other. As Gandhi said, an eye for an eye, and we all go blind. Not the right answer. Am I crazy? You could tell me. 585-346-3000. Am I right? You can tell me too. All good. Larry Sharp on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York. Back with your calls and internet chat after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Hey, this is Kevin Wilson, host of A Free Solution. You ever needed a tool for just one project, but didn't want to spend the cash for something you'd use just once or twice? Well, there's a new tool library in Rochester where you can borrow just the thing you need instead of buying a new one. It's called the Tool Shed from the Southeast Area Coalition, and membership starts at just $25 a year. Use it for home projects or to support your business. Learn more and become a member at seektoolshed.org. That's SEAC toolshed.org.
It
hot.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix. Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
Only available in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com. Official top quality tees, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting the colorful WYSL logo or the already famous Mount Worstmore line of merch depicting Mount Rushmore style are for worst presidents. Of course, you know who is front and center up on that mountain. WYSL official items make perfect gifts, or they're a great way for you to make a personal statement. Locally produced and sold only in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
Yes, Larry Sharp is back. WYSL, Rochester, New York. A free solution. Happy to be here. 585-346-3000 is the number if you want to chat with me. You might say, Larry, I like this show. I'm glad you do. You can watch it 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Not just me. You got Tim O'Connor. Come on, that's awesome. Sometimes even get Craig Miles on here. And, of course, the man himself, Kevin Wilson, all the time on the show. It's great.
Keith from Rochester.
A free solution, YouTube and Facebook. Let me grab a call if I could. I want to grab Keith from Rochester. How are you?
I'm going to try and analyze your statements, and I think where you're off. The big touchy topic today, the big drawback bugaboo is race. Somehow in New York City, they came up with a number of 2,600 bad guys out on the street. To my hoped-for logical thinking, if I was in charge, I would mobilize law enforcement crash teams and go after the bad 2,600.
Okay.
This is where I have to get blunt. We should all know, and I'll say it, if very few others will, majority of those 2,600 are males of color. So you get an Alvin Bragg who's in there because he says that the correction system is tilted against blacks. The fallacy in everyone's thinking is that by allowing the African-American black guys to remain on the street, the vast majority of good African-Americans have to live in terror. And then when this is presented to, on The View there, the woman's show, the very liberal Joy Behar, however it's pronounced, she says,
Behar, but go ahead.
But yeah, she says, but if we loosen up the gun laws and let everyone carry, she said flat out, that means blacks would be allowed to carry guns, giving the voice of many white people, we can't have blacks walking around with guns. She misses the point that if everyone were even mandated, that means good citizens across the board allowed to carry weapons, just as this 22 young man in Indiana brought to stop the killer. And that 22-year-old young man should be looked upon as a national hero.
Keith, hold on. I want to tell you for 1 second. There's only one word in there that bothered me. You said mandated. I do not want people to be mandated to carry firearms. If they want to carry a firearm, they should be allowed to, absolutely, if you want to. But I don't. If some people don't like guns, don't carry it. But don't stop others.
Use that term because our precious gun amendment, the Second Amendment, is so much under assault today. I agree with you. You should not have to. But when she said, but that would mean black people get to carry, she doesn't understand. And I'm picking up on your term of local communities. That means every local community then would be able to protect themselves.
Yes.
What the Governor Hochul's of the world don't understand is that when you keep guns out of the hands of the common man across the board, you invite in a criminal element because they attack the safe areas for them that are gun free. If you carried and even concealed, the bad guy would never know where to strike. They would
absolutely.
They would move on to the easier targets. So to bring this full circle, we're going to have a real discussion in our country of race relations, which both sides, especially my fellow whites, do not want to have. And white people are going to have to dig down deep and understand, because I'm only coming this late in my life. I'm already, unfortunately, in my mid-60s, that whether white people like to admit it or not, there's a lot of angst, real nervousness on the part of black people, if only because of the slavery. But we've never, race, for everyone to hear this, however long I'm allowed to go on here, race has always been the soft underbelly of American politics.
Sure.
Till we come to grips with the problem of race, especially as both sides see it. And by that I mean we as blacks and whites must really be honest with each other. Until we have that true national dialogue, we're not going anywhere in this country. Too many blacks are saying white oppression and white people, including me.
Keith, let me step in if I could. A couple things. Number one, I'm not going to fight you on people having more firearms. Of course, I've been that way forever. We're on board. And we also agree that we don't want to mandate it. If you don't like a gun, no worries. You don't have to have one. Just let others. When it comes to race, you're right. But here's the issue. Neither side is getting the reality. You have one side, which is the more left side, that yells, everything is white supremacy, everything is systemic, and then blames the individual white person for being a racist. Now, if you're going to tell me that it is a system, then how can the individual be the racist? This is the reason why so many white people get upset, because you're calling all white people racist. Now, here's the problem. If you call everybody racist, nobody's racist. There are actual racists in America. They absolutely exist. But it's so few, so tiny compared to the rhetoric that is out there. So now, when you call everybody racist, the actual racists who are out there, they're now protected. You've just made them safe by calling everybody racist. Because now when I call out an actual racist, no one can hear me. Because it thinks, oh, another guy, everybody's racist now. And this is a huge issue. And when it comes to Alvin Bragg and his issues about letting criminals on the streets, this is not the place to deal with it. If it is systemic, which I believe it is, for example, drug laws, biggest issue of systemic racism is drug laws. Still put criminals in jail, but change the drug laws. Change the drug laws so you don't have to put these people in jail. Not just that, when someone gets out, this is New York State, but across the country, the parole rules. Most people go back in jail being a parole because they missed a meeting. I'm not joking. They were late or they missed a meeting. So they're back in action. They're getting work. They're being with their family and they get caught in traffic. I'm not joking. Do your own homework if you think I'm making this up. And they go back to jail. Well, then how's some guy going to get his life in order when he's going to go right back to jail anyway? These are the systems I talk about changing. Do I think the individual parole officer is a racist? No. He's following a system that puts these people in jail. Now, white guys go to jail too, and so do Hispanic guys. It's just the higher percentage of black guys because of the drug laws. That's the issue. Because of civil asset forfeiture, cops having to raise money, cops having to be a profit center. This is the system I'm talking about. Is the individual cop a racist? No, they're doing their job. And if we were to look at it that way and have an actual conversation about that, Keith, we'd make some different changes.
Can I say in closing, and correct, well, I hear the music. I guess I'll have to let it go. Take care. Bye.
Keith, call back next week, brother. I'll talk to you soon. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope you enjoyed what we were talking about, that you'll never see me walk away from those tough conversations, whatever they are. We have to have them. Keith is right. If you think I'm wrong or he's wrong, tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL, Rochester, New York, on a free solution. Back with your calls and your internet chat after the break.
Okay, when we come back, we'll have Angelo from Arizona.
Celebrating 35 years. WYSL. AM 1040 Avon, Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll see partly cloudy skies, kind of warm and muggy. We'll stay in the low 70s on Wednesday. A hot, hazy, humid day, 90 to 95 degrees. Wednesday night, we might see a shower or a thunderstorm late. Thursday, an early morning thunderstorm, a little cooler, less humid, 70s, low 80s. Isolated shower or two in the afternoon. I'm Rich Cadelia, WYSL.
Come to the Lima Crossroads Festival August 4th through 7th. Thursday the 4th is the town-wide parade at 6 p.m. Thursday are also fundraiser concerts with Bonfire, the AC/DC tribute band, at the East Tent, sponsored by Bears Playgrounds, where donations are encouraged. The West Tent has J.P. Soar's Gypsy Blue Review featuring Ann Harris, with tickets available from Fanatics. Money raised at both concerts goes to fund the festival, Mercy Flight Central, and Teresa House. Friday night is free music featuring the Nile Singers and the Pete Griffith Group. Saturday starts at 8 a.m. with breakfast. The BCW Trio plays at 10 a.m. along with Crafters, Kids Carnival, Bounce House, Bungee Trampoline, Human Car Wash, food vendors, Balloony Sandwiches, our new balloon artist, the Petting Zoo with Kangaroo and Pandemonium of Parakeets, and the Old Time Jail. The bed races are at 1 o'clock, followed by free music with Owen Eichensare and Pat Harrington, the Ayers Brothers, Patty Parks Band, Random Accents, Kara Granger Band, Grosh, Peter Karp Band, the Coupe de Villes, and an open jam hosted by Pete Griffith. Sunday starts at 9 a.m. with church under the West Tent and the Rib Cook-Off. At noon, there are craft and food vendors, Balloony Sandwiches again, the Mercy Flight Central training helicopter, the Star Wars obstacle, the Teen Charity Cornhole Tournament, the massive 4-person photo chair, and a craft wine and beer tasting. The free music is at 12:30 p.m. with Dan Schmidt and the Shadows, Luca Foresta and the Electro Kings, Steve Grills and the Roadmasters, Lion Eyes and Eagles Tribute Band, Rockin' Johnny Burgeon Band, and the Devil's Pension. See limafest.org for all the details. Come to the Crossroads and let the music soothe your savage beast.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Summer fun follows you both on and off-road thanks to your new ride from Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Anthony Drive off Route 96 in Victor. You can get savings and selection in America's favorite four-wheel drive vehicles like the 22 Jeep Compass Latitude 4x4, just $299 a month for 36 months. Speak on Quest Lessee. The 22 Ram 1500 Classic Warlock Quad Cab 4x4 pickup is just $259 a month for 36 months. Must be Conquest Lessee. Test drive a 22 Ram Power Wagon, 5 in stock to choose from. And here's a great way to save with with special 0% APR savings through Chrysler Capital on Wagoneer Series 2 and 3 vehicles only during July. Victor has 4 vehicles in stock under this program, so hurry. Ask about program conditions on Ram and Compass. First payment, DMV, taxes and fees due at signing. Other conditions may apply. See dealer for details. We're here to fully serve Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and throughout the Metro and Finger Lakes. Victor, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. 6560 Anthony Drive in Victor.
What's growing on your carpets? Carpet may hold up to 200,000 bacteria per square inch. That's about 4,000 times more than your toilet. Professional carpet cleaning with hot water extraction is one of the most effective ways to rid your home of bacteria, dirt, and germs. Call Lima Carpet and schedule your carpet cleaning today. 226-2180. That's 226-2180. Lima Carpet staff will do it right, guaranteed.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
Yes, Larry Sharp is back. WYSL, Rochester, New York, on a free solution, 585-346-3000. We have been chatting about some serious stuff. Guns, abortion, race. We're not playing games here. Not at all. We got calls and we got chat. I promise I'll get to the chat, a couple of questions there. But right now, I want to grab a call if I could. I have Angelo from Arizona. How are you?
Larry, I'm well. How are you, my friend?
I am surviving every day, trying to make the world a better place. Doesn't always work, but I don't stop.
Good, good. So obviously I'm your buddy out here in Arizona, and you are my libertarian guru, my friend. But I just had a quick question for you. What is the current status of your bid for governor in New York? Because I'm trying to keep track of where it's at, but I'm not getting the latest updates. So what's the news?
July 25th is my court date. When I first got ballot access in 2018, the Democrats threw me off with the ballot, with the budget, changed ballot access, threw me off, and now Republicans are suing me. They're trying to throw me off. So if I win my court case, we're good. That's where we are. July 25th, well, no. Now I'm fighting Republicans. I fight them both. Nobody wants me on the ballot. Democrats threw me off. Now Republicans trying to throw me off. Whatever it is, they want to get rid of me. That's it.
Well, of course, they don't want anyone messing with a duopoly and convincing people that there's only two choices in life.
Well, in New York State, the Republicans want to make sure they keep coming in second because that's how they keep their local power, is by coming in second. No change. The reality of it is, if anyone in this state votes for either Republican or Democrat, you're going to guarantee Kathy Hochul stays governor. If you vote for me, you'll get actual change. That's the only difference. Because if I do well or even win, obviously, there'll be change in the state because people have to pay attention to me. Otherwise, whatever, the Republican will run, steal every Republican's money who gives him money, and then go away. You won't see him again. That's what happens all the time. That'll keep happening. It's been happening for 20 years, and people keep doing it. I don't know why they keep doing it, but they do. So, yeah, I don't know if that made sense.
Well, I mean, no, it does make some sense, but what I can't wrap my head around is if we're talking about New York City proper, okay, within, the 5 boroughs, obviously.
Yeah.
When was the last time a Republican actually won governor? Or here, how about just mayor of New York?
The last time we're not talking about New York. New York City is 6-1 Democrat Republican. The state's 3-1 Democrat Republican. So the state is still heavily Democrat, but not as bad as New York City. So when it comes to New York State, no Republican has won any statewide election, governor, AG, senator, in 20 years. And the state's getting bluer, not redder. So whoever runs is a sacrificial lamb who will lose by 20 or 30 points. But they'll take a bunch of Republican money before they go. Those Republicans will be upset after November, and they're going to pack up and move to Florida. That's sadly what's been happening for 20 years.
Is it fair to say then whomever the Republican candidate is grifting? I mean, is that
100%?
Okay.
100%.
I figured as much.
No doubt.
I recently read one of your tweets, I think it was last week, saying that you think that if you're giving up the fight, if you leave New York City proper and perhaps go to a different part of New York State, I don't think so at all. I just want to express that to you, and I've actually spoken with several other libertarians. Honestly, I think that's probably your best bet.
So you think me heading up state's better?
Pardon?
So you think me heading up state's better, leaving the front line?
Look at it this way.
I'm considering
If
it,
you
right?
could-
Look, I'm on the front line
Yeah.
right now in Queens. AOC is my congressperson. Like, I'm fighting in the front line. And my worry is if I move upstate, does it look like I'm retreating? Right? And am I,
No.
if I still, as long as I'm still fighting, I guess, no, right?
No, absolutely not. Look, if you possess rational thought, Larry, I know you. Like I said, you're the reason why I became a libertarian.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you fight, as I like, my father would tell me as a young man, is you fight the fights that you can actually win.
Yeah.
Okay. You at least have a chance at winning, right? Otherwise, I mean, look, the impassionate feudal cause. Yeah. I mean, it's a good rallying cry. Like, I'm going to fight the good fight kind of thing.
Right.
But in reality, you have to actually have a chance at winning, at doing something that, and moving forward and creating progression. And how
Agreed.
I see that happening, if you want to stay within the state of New York, which I completely advocate that you leave the entire state, like just the same way I left Illinois. But be that as it may.
This is my state. Why do I want to leave my state?
Well, we can have that conversation in just a second. But if you were
Another
to
time.
find
Scratch that. Another call.
Yeah. If you find a county that is libertarian leaning more so than any other county in New York, make it strategic. Find that county, go to that county, raise the money. If you can get on the New York State Congress in the Congress, the State of Representatives as a
No. To get ballot access, so my party is a party, I have to run for governor. I want to make sure others are able locally. I talk about local all the time, right? I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. 2018, after I got party ballot access, I crossed the state again. We had 107 victories, libertarian victories locally in 2019. And then the Democrats got rid of my party. And I'm running again to put my party back. Look, do I actually believe that libertarians are going to be 51% of New York State? I don't. I hope it happens. But in reality, I don't need that. What I need is them to be strong enough that we can create a coalition against establishment Democrats. The reality of it is, it's the establishment Democrats that are destroying us. The average Democrat in the street doesn't actually care. Just goes, oh, I guess Republicans are bad because that's what I've heard for 20 years of my life. So I assume Republicans are bad. That's what the average Democrat, I know, I meet them in the street all the time in New York City. Most don't pay attention, don't care. They're living their lives. They just think, oh, I've been told on The View, right, as Keith said, that Republicans are evil, so I guess they are. And when they vote anti-Republican. If we could show them that they create a coalition against the establishment, we'd get Democrats on our side. I know this. 25% of them, of all the people who support me, are registered Democrats. That's data that we have. We know this. I pull Democrats. That's important. So I want to make sure I'm running statewide so that local people can create coalitions to make real change in this state. So no, I do not want to run local. I want to be the guy who gets others to change their own areas.
Okay, fair enough.
So thank you for the call, Angelo. I appreciate it tremendously.
Okay.
Thanks, my friend. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
So yeah, some of you may have noticed I tweeted a week ago, that I was considering leaving New York City and moving upstate. And I didn't know if it made sense or not. And some people were like, no, stay in a city and be punished. And some of you were like, no, go upstate, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So I'm happy either way. I just want to keep fighting if I can. So yes, that's, I think, where I'm trying to think. So I want to grab a chat question, which is a strong question. And I want to bring this up. This is from Sash. I think that's right. Most Nazis didn't work in concentration camps. That's true. They just supported a Nazi government who then used some soldiers and killed Jews. Also true. But we still hold those who support the Nazi government, I think he means accountable. Therefore, why is it wrong to find those who support governments who oppose open borders, open immigration, responsible for the 9 million deaths a year due to hunger? I'll tell you why. It's a great question. Because the vast majority of people, number one, are following a system and they are affected by their system. Number one. Number two, would it make sense? And I mean, I'm serious. Imagine, to be clear, Schindler the famous guy from Schindler's List, was an active member of the Nazi Party, and he personally saved thousands of Jews. He was an active member of the Nazi Party. Should he have been shot? Give or take 1/3 to 1/2 of the German population was a part of the Nazi Party. Should we have put 1/3 of the German population in prison? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to rebuild the city? Who's going to rebuild the state, the country? In Rwanda, there were millions of people who committed murder in their genocide, in their civil war. Are you going to put 1 million men in prison? Who's going to watch them? Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to take care of their families? Or are you going to execute them all? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to be worse than the Nazis? So I get what you're saying, but 1, it's not feasible. 2, it's actually unfair. The people who did the stuff should pay the price. The people who were swept along because they felt they had no choice, what do you want them to do? What if you were a German mom who didn't think the Nazis were right, but your husband needed a job? So that for him to have a job to pay for your family, he joins the Nazi Party in Germany in 1935 or 1936, whenever it is, and works as a bureaucrat, right? Supporting the Nazi government. Should he have been killed or imprisoned? Should she have been? What about those kids? What other option do they have? They couldn't leave. They got to eat. Does the average guy or gal who's trying to make money, should he or she be punished? I would argue no. I would argue no. If you wanted to punish all of them again, you can, but I go back to an eye for an eye, and we all go blind. I am not that person. You're the Nazi guy at the camp, you pay the price. You're the Nazi leader, you pay the price. You're some bureaucrat trying to feed your family, you don't pay the price. That's my view, Sash. I hope I answered it. I get if you think I'm incorrect, but I'm telling you how I feel. I think I'm pretty much the same in many things when it comes to this. Larry Sharp, WYSL, Rochester, New York, a free solution, 585-346-3000. Coming back with your calls and more chat. Great question, guys. Thank you for being active in the chat. Back after the break.
The WYSL store is now open. With nicer weather, your car needs an official Voice of Liberty bumper sticker. There's a great selection to help you show your love of God, the Constitution, and free and safe schools. Here are just a few available. Shut Up, Fauci, Kathy Hochul, Save America, Support the Second Amendment, Scam Alert, January 6th, God, Please Help Us, Close the Mexican Border, Save America, Stop Voting for Democrats. And there are gas pump stickers reading, Democrats did this. These are standard weather-resistant bumper stickers guaranteed to get you horn honks and thumbs up in traffic. Choose from other locally made WYSL Voice of Liberty merch too, like tees, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Perfect gifts for any Liberty lover. Check out the exclusive WYSL Mount Worstmore shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting our 4 worst presidents. Guess who's front and center? Shop the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hey, this is Kevin Wilson, host of A Free Solution. You ever need a tool for just one project, but didn't want to spend the cash for something you'd use just once or twice? Well, there's a new tool library in Rochester where you can borrow just the thing you need instead of buying a new one. It's called the Tool Shed from the Southeast Area Coalition, and membership starts at just $25 a year. Use it for home projects or to support your business. Learn more and become a member at seektoolshed.org. That's SEAC toolshed.org.
A free solution on the WYSL stations.
It is Larry Sharp here, WYSL, Rochester, New York, on a free solution. And usually I'm doing my Sharp Way show. And if you want to check that out, check out the Sharp Way on all the interweb things. Or if you want to see what I'm doing outside of that, Larry Sharp, LarrySharp.com, Larry Sharp on all of the interweb things. Please, all of them. Enjoy. But here I'm with you on WYSL, Rochester, New York. I want to grab, if I can, a bunch of comments. A lot of you have been popping up some comments here in the chat, and I want to cover something that's been very good. So the Anarcho Booth says, change culture to what, though? Some see it, I think he means, or I'm assuming he, maybe she, as abortion. Some see it as murder, and some see it as a mystical creature bereft of human rights. The people arguing it's murder obviously think it's something worth making illegal. I'm not saying it's not worth making illegal. That's not what I'm saying. I'm asking what will be the outcome. And that's more of a, I guess, common sense. I hate that word. That's more of utilitarian. Maybe that's a better word. Utilitarian outlook. If I just ban it without changing culture, all I do is punish poor women. But if I change culture, now we can make it legal and it's fine. The example I always give, and I've done it before, is the idea of honor killing in some parts of the world, where if a woman is raped, her family feels shame, and someone, a male in the family, has to kill her. Clearly murder, obviously murder, but in their eyes, culturally, not. So they outlaw it because these countries want to make America feel better. So we put pressure on them, and they outlaw honor killing. Does it stop honor killing? No. In fact, in some ways, it gets worse because now it has to look like an accident. So they literally will do things like spill acid all over the woman and say, oh, it was a mistake, as she burns to death and dies of acid burns. I'm not making this up. You can do your homework on this. This kind of thing begins to happen. So what has to happen? You've got to have a culture change where we start treating women differently. In that case, in our case here in America, show people what abortion is versus insulting them and calling them names. Show women another way versus calling them names and insulting them. That's the difference. You change the culture to women go, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do that. The best defense we have against abortion is women choosing to not have them. And if we create the right environment and give them more options and show them we care, less of them will make that choice. That's how you change the culture. Lisa says, we need better birth control. Yes. Why isn't it over the counter? Why is it spoken about normally? Why isn't everyone talking about this? Yes. This shows respect for women. This gives women more options. Yes. Why isn't adoption super simple? Why isn't surrogacy super simple? Giving women more options, more choices, more respect. This is the idea. Do this, we will have less abortions. I hope that answers your question. Thank you for that, by the way. So, yes. Craig talks about the Ohio shooting. I thought it was Indiana. I think it was Indiana. Keith mentioned this. People would rather that more people have been killed because the good guy used an illegal gun to stop the shooting. The gun wasn't actually illegal. This is a nuance here. The private owner of the mall didn't want guns in the mall, but this person legally owned the firearm. So is it illegal or is it just breaking policy? So there's a line there. But regardless, I don't care if it was illegal. I don't care if it was completely illegal. That guy saved lives. The cops even said so. Like the cops said this guy saved lives. Everybody there, this guy saved lives. I don't care if the gun's illegal. If it was illegal and the governor doesn't pardon him, shame on the governor. I mean, this is what we want, right? This is what Keith was talking about. Exactly right, Craig. Absolutely true. Yes. So Carl then says, Larry, what can we do about New York State new gun laws? Non-compliance? Look, Carl, I'll be very forward with you. I don't encourage people, individuals, to not comply with laws. Why? Not because I don't want them to. Because if you have a family or responsibilities, the state is going to put you in jail. You are going to become a felon, and it's going to affect your life. If you want to do that, oh my God, please. But who am I to ask you to make that sacrifice for your family, your life? I'm not prepared to ask you to do that. What I want to do is I want us to push our sheriffs to not comply. Push that because they won't go to jail for that. There's no real damage for a sheriff to go, I'm not going to comply. I'm not going to enforce. That's what I want us to do. Have our locally elected sheriffs not comply. Have our local DAs not comply. Now, this goes back to my first piece. Imagine if you, Carl, elected a local DA that said, I'm not going to enforce gun laws. But our Republican who's running for governor now is all about, we're going to start replacing DAs. What do you think Kathy Hochul's going to do? Replace your DA and put one who will enforce gun laws. This is why I don't want this. The idea that a governor can change the DA is a terrible idea. What I want, Carl, is you to get rid of your DA who's enforcing gun laws and then hire one who won't do that. So yes, non-compliance, but not by the citizen. Unless you're prepared to sacrifice yourself, then please, that's amazing if you can do that. I would rather us push our leaders, our DAs, and our sheriffs to not comply. Now we're rocking and rolling. You have a governor behind that, we can fix this in 2 years. That's how we end the SAFE Act. That's how we make New York State a more pro-2A state, by a governor who will support DAs and support sheriffs who do not enforce these gun laws. That's the right answer. I hope I answered your question. Patricia says, but the war on third party seems to be working. They haven't finished me yet, Patricia. I am still there. I'm still fighting. They haven't finished me yet. I am a Marine, and I will fight until I no longer have the means to resist. And I have the means to resist. So they haven't got rid of me yet. So I hope that's helpful at least. Yes. So then she goes on, we need a war on common sense. You know what? That's amazing. We need a war on common sense. We'd get some more common sense. I do like that. That's great. Sam says, Rochester loves Larry. Thank you. And you know what? I like Rochester too, right? I like Rochester too. Andrew Holster out of Rochester. This station out of Rochester. I think you're absolutely correct. I do love that. I think that would be amazing. Mike says that his mother likes me, but her main reservation, she has some friendly feedback, is that I should be less abrasive. I'll come off better to upset conservatives who know rhinos. Not sure what that means. Am I abrasive? I feel like I'm not, but maybe I am. I'm trying to be passionate. That is what I'm attempting to be. If I'm being abrasive, that isn't my point. But when it comes to calling out Republican leadership, I have to be. Republican leadership is abrasive against me, literally suing me to get me off the ballot. So I kind of have to be for them. But again, you hear me often. I will attack establishment all day long. I don't attack individual Democrats. I don't attack individual Republicans or individual conservatives or Green Party members. The individual person running across this state, across this nation, is just trying to live their life. Going to work, hanging out with their family and friends, doing what they think is the right thing. That's what they're doing. My beef is with the establishment, right? That is the answer. My beef is with the establishment. John says, you have a large following in North Country. Been spreading your name. Thank you, John. You know, this is the funny thing. I have a following in North Country and Western New York more than anything. But I'm trying to get it everywhere. This state needs some help. It really does. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.